YouTube and Snapchat and fuckers. Welcome back to another installment of the Friday Wrap-Up. Well, another week down, and I've never been so happy to see a fucking Friday. So before we jump into our show, I'd like to tip my hat to today's libation, brought to you by the good people at Libre Tequila. It felt like a tequila kind of week. It was, like I said, it was a long week. It was just mired and bullshit and craziness. So I think I needed to go to Mexico, at least in my brain. So I'm drinking a little tequila and club soda. Salud, to drink up and be somebody. It's good. Ooh, I think I made that a little potent. Anyway, so another week into 2021, and the cancel culture is in full effect. So, in case you have been asleep all week, or you've been noticing that your Twitter feed is not as active as it usually is, that's because all social media has banned President Trump. I believe for life. I know Twitter, it's a lifetime ban, and also Snapchat banned President Trump for life. Now, not that Trump had a Snapchat account, at least I don't think so, because I'm not friends with him on it, and that would actually hurt my feelings if I had them. But Snapchat needed to say, and no offense, Snapchat, in case you get your fucking panties in a twist, okay? They needed to come out and say that they're banning Trump for life. He never had a fucking account. I mean, could you see Trump with a Snapchat account? What is he going to do, post pictures once a day? I mean, you know, with the filters, with the little puppy dog faces. Biden memes, like, come on. And, of course, TikTok also banned. Now, TikTok is the only social media platform that I can understand why they would want to ban Trump for life. I mean, the Chinese communists. Why wouldn't they? So Twitter has banned them. Facebook has banned them. I don't know if the Facebook ban is for life. YouTube banned them for the week. Can't post any videos or anything. It's fucking ridiculous. I mean, apparently they missed the memo on the First Amendment. I mean, maybe I missed the memo. You know what? I'm gonna take the bogey on this one. I think I missed the memo where they canceled the freedom of speech amendment on the Constitution. For those of you non-constitutional people, it's the First Amendment. So if you got ADD, you can't read past 3-4 sentences. One amendment. That's why I could do the show. I mean, I live the majority of my life on the premise that I could speak open and freely. I mean, I pay taxes. It's my God-given right to call someone a fuckface or a jerk off or a momo or whatever the fuck else comes out of my mouth at the time. So that's the internet, Amazon, really. All the social media platforms did conspire to pretty much remove Parler from the net. Apparently, that was too much for them. Parler, for those of you that don't know what that is, it's like Twitter for conservatives. Now, the reasoning behind this is they blamed the insurrection on the 6th on Parler. They said that people were communicating on Parler to organize this. And this week, that turned out to be bullshit. Let me just give you guys a little rundown of what Parler is. Like I said, it's like Twitter for conservatives. You got a lot of Jesus lovers on that. There's not a single fucking violent person. I think I was, and I can't believe I'm going to say this. I think I was the most hostile, hostile person on it. Because I would comment the way I normally fucking comment on things, you know? But if you do that on Twitter, they kick you off. You do that on Parler, you got friends. So, but, it was just people just commenting on politics, no different than they would any place else, on any other fucking platform, anywhere else. A lot of them just love Trump, but there was a lot of Jesus lovers on there. So, Jesus lovers are non-violent people. They're praying to God that he's going, that the world is going to right itself and that evil will be wronged. I mean, they're a little naive, so to speak. But the social media platforms were saying that it cultivated a a hostile environment, and that was responsible for the insurrection. The real reason is because it was the fastest growing social media app. It was nipping, and I didn't even believe this until I saw it on the news. It was Fox News, that is. It was nipping at Twitter's heels as far as competition goes. So the CEO of Twitter conspired with Apple, Google, and Amazon to remove it. So Apple and Google dropped it from their platforms. If you had it, it stayed on your phone as long as you did something to remove the ability that Apple has to update your apps for you, like remove certain things and shit like that. Yeah, you could disable that. So I did that. I still have the platform on my phone, but without the app stores allowing you to access it, nobody else could download it. Amazon, I didn't know this, but I'm not surprised either. They own the majority, if not all, of internet hosting services. So if you're a platform like this, you're buying your internet access, your platform really, from Amazon. There's not a lot of places you can go. So, like I said, these three conspired. Which, by the way, these were like the largest contributors to the Biden campaign. Just throwing that out there. Google, Apple, Amazon. So they conspired and they basically shelved Parler. Now Parler, their CEO, went on Fox, basically told everyone what happened, and he's trying to find a new platform, but it doesn't look like it's going to happen because without Apple and Google willing to allow you access to their platforms, can't make any money. So there's that. But like I said, they said that the insurrection was organized on on Parler. And like I said, there's been reports that came out this week that prove that the insurrection not only was premeditated, maybe you heard it here first, you're going to see some shit coming out, and I'm going to start to unravel a little bit of it in the show, but it came out that the insurrection was premeditated and pre-planned, and it was pre-planned on Facebook, through Facebook messages and stuff like that. So Facebook said that Parler was irresponsible because it wasn't monitoring the content of its users. In fact, Facebook actually is guilty of that. But Facebook hasn't been deplatformed, just Parler. So, also Twitter and all these social media platforms are also banning anyone who supports Donald Trump. Anybody who's posted anything about the election steal or anything that's in support of the right side is being removed or banned, sometimes temporarily, sometimes permanently, and we're being labeled as domestic terrorists. God forbid you call an Antifa supporter or a BLM supporter a domestic terrorist. No, they're fucking patriots. They just burn cities down and state capitals and bite police officers in the face. That's okay. People like Kamala Harris actually support that. Matter of fact, she was a big supporter of bail reform for these people so that they can get out and protest again. So, but that's okay. That's not terrorism. But if you support Donald Trump in any way, shape, or form, you're now fucking public enemy number one. So, that's fun. Let the rodeo of bullshit begin, right? I wonder how long it's going to be until I get banned. I mean, if you see my channel get taken down like tomorrow, I'll probably, start a Rumble channel or something. But I just want to see how long this goes before they catch me. I mean, I've been called everything else in the book. Why not a domestic terrorist, right? Okay, so your corona update. Governor Nostrils is still complaining about the fact that there is not enough vaccinations being performed. The problem is actually state logistics. You see, the system is failing with a couple different things. One being clearly informing people who would be eligible for the vaccine. They keep moving the goalpost. So 65 and over, teachers, first responders, there's a couple, nobody really knows who qualifies. So once you figure that part out, then you got to go onto a state website and you have to find a location to make an appointment. And, I mean, I guess we all forgot how well Obamacare got rolled out. So that's a fucking problem. So you got to sit there and keep refreshing until you actually get an appointment. That appointment could be months out. It's not guaranteed. So you got all these vaccinations. You got all these people that want vaccines, and the appointments are in April, May, March. So they're not immediate. And then if you do get an immediate appointment, you're waiting online for like fucking hours. So the logistics of the whole thing just don't fucking work. So that's jamming everything up. And it really comes down to two things. There's not enough personnel, and there's not enough sites. Okay. I personally think that there's too much confusion. They should go either by date of birth, social security number. They should make it some fucking easier. You know what I mean? Or just first come, first serve, but just open up more centers. More around the clock vaccinations, like in a hospital, at a clinic or something. I don't know how that's going to work out, but there's got to be a better way to do it. I don't know that the federal government has the fucking answer for that. But, now I'm getting ahead of myself because Joe Biden gave an address today. He came out of his basement, kids. So he wanted to roll out his plan today pertaining to vaccinations, which really wasn't much of a plan. But the media thinks it's brilliant. Like it's just it's so one-sided. It's ridiculous. Like, I mean, if Trump said exactly what he said today, they would have said his cheese slid off his cracker. He would have said, "Oh, Trump's crazy. He's stupid. I know what he's doing." Biden starts talking, and they're all like looking at him like little fucking butterflies are flying around their head. First of all, is it just me? But whenever Joe Biden talks, he's always like squinting into it. And I get it, he's got cataracts or glaucoma or something, but it always feels like he's scolding you. Like he's a grouchy old man. He's old. I get it. Listen, I'm fucking grouchy now. When I'm his age, I'm just gonna probably throw my teeth at people. But he always seems like he's fucking scolding people. Like, and people want to say, "Oh, he's so unifying." What fucking drugs are people smoking, and may I have some, please? Like, I don't understand. What the fuck? So, this was his plan, okay? People thought it was fucking brilliant. He basically came out and said, "We're all fucked." He's like, it's gonna get worse. It's gonna be a dark winter. It's gonna be fucking dogs and cats shitting on each other. I mean, he basically came out and said, "We're all fucked," and his plan starts with he wants everyone to wear a mask for the next 100 days. Now, I get it. He's been in his basement a long time. Maybe he hasn't gotten out. I mean, he's always got the fucking mask on, right? He got the vaccine. He just got the mask on. Stop it. We've been wearing a mask for, and I've said this before on the show, for basically the last year. You can't go anywhere without a mask. And he wants to sign executive orders to federally mandate mask wearing on all federal facilities, like the post office, Port Authority, travel, train. We're doing it now, okay? And that doesn't seem to be doing anything. But that was his plan. He wants everyone to mask up for 100 days. And people go, "That's great. That's going to save lives." I don't understand how fucking stupid people are. So that's part A of his plan. And then he says he wants to vaccinate. His plan calls for vaccination of 100 million people within the first 100 days. Let me say that again. 100 million people within 100 days. You're vaccinating 1 million people a day. For you mathematicians. Now, had Donald Trump said something like that, they would have said, "This guy's out of his fucking mind. He's gone crazy." But Biden says, like, "That's so great." First of all, this is I mean, that's a little overly ambitious plan. And he didn't give any steps at how he was going to implement that. Remember something. it's up to the states to determine how the vaccine's going to be distributed, who it's going to go to first, and Governor Cuomo loves that. He loves having the fucking say because he wanted that. Okay, he was saying that from the get. So Biden basically said 100 million people in 100 days, and he said something about FEMA possibly looking at FEMA to possibly put up some additional vaccination centers, or maybe some rolling vaccination centers for the low-income communities. That actually, truthfully, and I'm not picking on low-income people at all, but that was his main concern, was low-income people. I don't think it should go based on a caste system, low-income, middle-income, wealthy. I think it should go based on, severity. You know, I mean, if you're going to say follow the science, which is what he was saying, science and money have two different things. Okay, the wealth system and scientific basis are two completely different fucking animals. So come on, Joe, get it together, buddy. All right, yeah, fucking doddering old fuck you. So he basically didn't give any means as to how he was going to implement his plan. He just said this is his plan, and he had a couple of thoughts, and then he promptly soiled his slacks and left the stage to go play with a puppy. So that's your Corona update. I mean, it's according to the president-elect, we're all fucked. So get your tickets out, kids. We're gonna take a little choo-choo ride, okay, on your favorite mode of transportation, the Crazy Train. All aboard! Woo woo! First stop, Washington, D.C. Here we go. Okay. So, in the name of unifying the country and furthering peace and partisanship among the Republicans and the Democrats, they decided to impeach the fucking president again. And, they want to say that Trump was responsible for the insurrection. They impeached him on the basis that he incited a riot. Now, I listened to his speech on the 6th. At no point was he inciting anything. He said that he wanted that, if they're going to go down to the Capitol, because that was the plan, that people were going to march down to the Capitol to peacefully and he even said, to peacefully voice your beliefs and patriotism, blah, 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 blah. Freedom of speech, right to assembly, all of those constitutional amendments that the Democrats forgot we had. Okay. You have them if you're on the side of the left. If you're a right winger, forget it. You don't have shit. And then don't even get me started on, fucking, there's 4 cops there. First of all, there was also something that came out. You're going to see a lot of shit start to come out in the next couple of weeks because they went and fucking impeached the president against counsel, which was ill-advised. This was Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer again pushing their fucking agenda. They got an axe to grind with this guy. They couldn't wait to impeach him again, second time, okay? But there's been reports that Congress people gave some members of these insurrectors tours of the Capitol the day before. I'll give you 3 guesses what party those fucking Congress people belong to. Went to Republicans, okay? There's reports that the chief of police, Capitol chief of police, who had to step down because Nancy Pelosi's, suggestion, quote unquote, begged for additional personnel and national security people 3-4 days before this even happened. There was proof that this thing was premeditated on Facebook. They have proof that these people who actually infiltrated the state capitol were not at Trump's assembly. They were already scaling the fucking walls. They were already there in the rotunda. So you're going to see a lot of shit come out. So, like I said, in the spirit of unity, they decided to impeach the president, who still has, and again, I said this last week, this is just done to send them off in disgrace, to shut them up, to mute them. Again, it was planned. And so far, it seems to have worked. He's been pretty quiet. He's banned on social media. Now they're going after his businesses, his private business. So, they really just want to punish this guy for being a good fucking president for 4 years. And they want to use this to overshadow all the accomplishments that this man created. So, but Uncle Tommy isn't going to let you forget that. So don't worry. Don't worry. I got something for you. I got a little present for you. But so they impeached him and the purpose of the impeachment, the purpose of any impeachment really, is to remove the sitting president from office. The trials to remove him from office won't begin until after he leaves office. Let me say that again for you in case you missed it, okay? They impeached him to remove him from office. His last day on the job is the 20th. So so they impeached him to remove him, and then the trials to remove him from office aren't going to begin until after he leaves office. So the whole point is moot. I don't see the Senate voting for full impeachment unless they really just don't want him. I mean, there are members in the GOP, that fucking vagina-faced McConnell being one of them, doesn't want him to run in 2024. And they think by impeaching him and then, putting in some kind of an order that he can't hold public office again is going to work. Now, it's a thin margin because there's a lot of proof to show that he really didn't incite an insurrection, and unless they fucking railroad him in the Senate, which is a possibility because, look at what's happening. No attorney wants to touch him because he's radioactive except for Giuliani, and we all know how I feel about Rudy Giuliani. But if he does get Alan Dershowitz to represent him, I think he's got a good shot at beating the impeachment. Do I see him running again in 2024? Who knows? If I were him, I sure as fuck wouldn't. With all the shit I would just sit on the sidelines and just point and laugh at people. First of all, we're going to rig every fucking election after this anyway, so there'd really be no point in running. It's a waste of money and time. I would just sit there and point and laugh. Personally, Trump, and this is the only advice I would give to the president, he should get himself some better fucking lawyers, okay? Because everybody that he's had as far as legal counsel sucks. He should have called me. I would have helped him, okay? My advice to him at the beginning of this would have been to give a statement, denounce the fucking insurrection. That's that. And then privately have a conversation with Mike Pence, mend that fence a little bit, and then, before they can impeach him, tender his resignation effective midnight, January 19th. Leaves office before the inauguration. You don't even have to be bothered going. Gives a little farewell address. Mike Pence takes over as acting president for a day. He's already said he was going to the fucking inauguration. And that's that. That's how you avoid the impeachment. And then you can come back and do whatever the fuck you want 4 years later. That's how I would have. That's what I would have told him to do. But then again, what do I know? He didn't call me. I can't help you, Donnie. So, but like I said, the whole purpose of this is really, really to just overshadow every good thing that he's done in the last 4 years, to stifle any concern about a fixed election and so on and so forth. But like I said, I'm not going to let you do that. Okay, so, a sports update. We got a lot of sports to talk about today. All right, so first off, NFL playoffs are still going on this weekend, all right? The Buffalo Bills are playing the Ravens tomorrow in Buffalo, okay? And they're still going to allow 6,700 fans to attend. How much you want to bet fucking Nostrils is going to be there this Saturday? Sunday night, my backup team, my New Orleans Saints, are playing Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Now, this should be a good game. I'm looking forward to this, okay? Because you got two of the best quarterbacks in the game facing off. Now, listen, I'm not a Tom Brady fan. Never really was, okay? Is he a good quarterback? Yeah. Is he one of the best? Yeah. Could he ever beat Eli Manning in a Super Bowl? No fucking way. But he's one of the top QBs in the league. The next is one of my actual favorite quarterbacks, Drew Brees. I think this guy's a smart guy. He's a smart guy. He's a great quarterback. And personally, I'm hoping New Orleans goes to the Super Bowl this year, and I'm hoping they fucking crush it. I need a win. Give me something. All right, so this is going to be a good game. They're actually calling this the Battle of the Geriatrics. Because these are also two of the oldest quarterbacks in the league. Old. They call them old. They're my age. They're 43 years old. Okay, actually, I think Drew Brees is 42. No, Tom Brady's definitely 43. I think Drew Brees might be 42, but they're my fucking age, and they're calling them old. All right. Listen, I could still QB a fucking NFL game. All right. I can handle. I mean, not the whole fucking season. I mean, let's not get hysterical, but at least one game I could do, no problem. So that's your football update. So it should be interesting. That should be an interesting game to watch. Hockey season started. Yay! I was saying this. I can't wait for hockey. Can't wait for hockey. Finally came, and I wish I could have waited for it. So the Rangers kicked off their season last night at the Garden, which was empty, and they faced off with the Islanders. Now, those of you who have forgotten, the Islanders came off of a pretty good fucking season last year. Now, I'm not an Islander fan personally, but we're talking sports. Let's talk sports. The Islanders were close. I think they were like within a couple of games or a game of actually being in the Stanley Cup playoffs. You know, which I personally think they would, if they would have made the playoffs. If they would have made the Stanley Cup championships, I should say. I think they would have won the cup last year, but it didn't happen. So they faced off with the Rangers, and the Rangers came up fucking dead. I mean, the fucking Islanders crushed them 4-0. Rangers couldn't even get close to a fucking goal. They got one goal. Well, they got one in the net, let's say, but the refs it was a bullshit call. The refs disqualified it. Not that it would have fucking helped, but just watching them play, it's like it was like their first fucking hockey game ever, period. Like it's the first time they saw ice. Like, oh, what's this? I mean, it was like watching retards with hockey sticks. That's what it was. I was waiting for one of them to start licking the ice, thinking it was a giant snow cone. It was a fucking disaster. Okay, I had to turn the game off because it was giving me fucking acid reflux. I was getting agita from this shit. So I can't wait. I mean, if the fucking Rangers continue to play the way they were playing last night, it's going to be a long season, kids. It's going to be a long season. So, you know, unfortunately, I don't have a backup hockey team. That's it. It's the Rangers or nothing. So this isn't going well. Basketball. Well, the Nets, they've been a little lackluster the last couple of weeks. Knicks have been the Knicks, the Bulls have been the Bulls. But in a blockbuster trade this week, the Nets picked up James Harden. Okay? I don't know how I feel about this. I personally don't like this guy. His fucking beard disturbs me. It looks like... It looks like a homeless woman's vagina. Okay, circa 1970. Okay, that's what his fucking beard reminds me of. I don't know why. It just does. Okay, his face just. I want to grab that thing and bang it against the floor. But as far as him being a good ball player, he definitely is. So now you got Kyrie Irving, you got Kevin Durant, you got James Harden all on the same team. Brooklyn's trying to build a fucking championship team. They're trying to build a LeBron killer. Could happen. But problem is, Kevin Durant just has to fucking stay healthy. I mean, this fucking guy's all over the goddamn place. I mean, so, you know, it's... We'll see what happens. Anyway, so that's your basketball update. So, you know, I got a lot of good feedback on the show's new segment, What the Fuck Is That? So, coming up on this week's segment of What the Fuck Is That? We're going to talk about ethical non-monogamy. Okay? You heard that. I mentioned last week, you know, dating websites and stuff like that, and there's all kinds of abbreviations for shit and like, you know, fucking words. So like this would be ENM, and I'm like, what the fuck? You know, you look that up. What the fuck is ENM? And then, you know, ethical non-monogamy. You go, oh, what kind of fuckery is this? Okay, and here's what it is. It's when you have a romantic relationship with multiple people and everyone involved is enthusiastically content or enthusiastically consents to the dynamic. Let me put this in English for you, okay? If you're a fucking hoa, and you could be a male hoa, female hoa, it don't matter what kind of hoa you are. Okay, you're a fucking hoa, you're running around with multiple people. That's what ethical non-monogamy is. They where I come from, they call it a player, they call it, cheating, fucking around, whatever. Now they put a nice little politically correct term on this. So let me give you a little my take on how this came about. Okay, some wife probably caught her husband fucking cheating on her, confronted him, and he probably came up with some bull. I don't know what happened, baby. I was just walking and I tripped and my dick fell in her. Something like that. And she probably was a smart chick and realized, well, if I dump this motherfucker, I'm going to have to come up with half, the other half of the fucking bills for the house, the rent, this, the car. And she figured, all right, okay, I'll keep your ass. So we're going to do some ethical non-monogamous shit, okay? So she said, all right, you want to fuck around? I get to fuck around too. So we can date other people. We'll tell each other about it, so as long as we know it's okay. And this quickly backfired on probably most of these guys. Because, these chicks are probably going out and, they're like, this is great. I can have multiple men at once to just banging on my head and shit, and then still go home and get all half of our bills paid. So that's how this came about. Ethical non-monogamy. I gotta stop. Maybe take some more tequila. Ethical non-monogamy. Nobody, by the way, is enthusiastically consenting to this. Some jerk off got caught. Somebody fucking, flipped the script on him. Are you fucking kidding me? All this is consent to cheat. Okay? If you're going to be with somebody who says to you, let's be ethically non-monogamous. Here's the door, bitch. Don't let it hit you with a good door and split you. Okay? Now, do not confuse this term with polyamory. Okay? That's an entirely different thing, polyamory. When you engage in a relationship with multiple people at the same fucking time, that's what polyamory is. Okay? You're dating multiple people. First, there's another word for that, by the way. It's called being a fucking Mormon. This is not a new concept, by the way. It's been around a long time. Okay, Mormons have been doing this shit forever. They use God as a reason to bang multiple broads. Polyamory isn't so one-sided. You could have, one chick with a bunch of guys, one guy with a bunch of, or, some other kind of freakery. You have, multiple different types of people and species and all kinds of shit. Don't even get me started. Men that used to be women used to be men. It makes my skull hurt. So when they're all together and, fucking around and whatever. First of all, either one of these things, I don't understand the science behind. Ethical non-monogamy, polyamorous. You want more than one person. First of all, when you're dating somebody, it could be man, woman, guy, girl, guy, whatever the fuck you're into, okay? No matter what it is, I'm going to use heterosexuality as just, as my example. I know it's so obscure. Oh my God, it's talking about straight people? What are those? I don't know. It's not exactly, acceptable these days, but humor me. So like if you're dating a chick, right? And fellas, you can sympathize with this, and some of you girls kind of could too. You technically, if you're dating one girl, you're technically dating at least 5 at once. Okay, you got because whoever you're dating has multiple personality disorder. Okay, especially certain times a month. Anything that could bleed for a week straight, every month, and still live. You don't fuck with that. That's pure evil right there. Okay, so you take a woman, for example. You have her happy personality. You got her sad personality. You got her angry personality. You have her bitchy, emotional, PMS-y personality. And then you have the downright psychotic personality, not to be confused with the crazy one. The crazy one could be fun. The psychotic one, you got problems. Okay, so, there's 5 personalities right there. And you want to add to this. But what the fuck is wrong with people? So if you're dating three people at once, right? That's 15 different fucking personalities. There ain't enough tequila in Mexico to make you fucking live with that. Okay? Which, by the way, I think tequila is a wonderful libation. Because, even when you don't love me, the tequila does. So instead of being polyamorous, multi-ethical, non-monogamous, whatever the fuck, just get yourself a bottle of tequila. Call it a night. So, a couple things. Something has been troubling me lately. My neighbor, who is of, maybe questionable immigration status, has spent the last month and a half, pretty much since the election, spent the last month and a half soundproofing his work van. And he's built these large wooden, almost coffin-size smuggling cabinets. That's what they look like. You could easily fit like 2 or 3 people in them. I don't know, maybe it's me. Maybe he has other uses for them, but I find it a little questionable. So, it's my first knock on Dunkin' Donuts for 2021. Well, actually, this is not a knock. I'm going to start this off nice. Okay, and so far I've been poo-pooing on 2021, but I did discover one delightful thing. It's my favorite thing in 2021. A couple weeks ago, I stopped into a Dunkin' Donuts. Not my normal one, just a different one. And they had a Dunkafetti donut, which is basically a funfetti donut. And for those of you who don't know, my absolute favorite cake in the world. This from a foodie. My absolute favorite cake in the world is like the fucking Pillsbury funfetti cake. It's like, that's like my favorite. Every year on my birthday, that's the only cake I want. And it has to be the Halloween one, like the black and orange one, because those are my colors, you know what I mean? But just that. I don't keep all your fancy fucking cakes, your tiramisus, your strawberry shortcake, all that, happy horse shit. I'm not a cake person. Like, that's not my thing. But this, it's just the one thing that just delights me. Reminds me of my childhood. It's just, I have it once a year, and that's it. This year for my birthday, unfortunately, I didn't have one. That's a story for another day, but so I was kind of missing out. Anyway, so I wander into this Dunkin' Donuts, and they had this funfetti donut, and I usually don't even like Dunkin' Donuts as donuts. Okay, they're always a disappointment. So I'm sitting there, I'm looking at it, I'm like, I gotta try it. I'm probably not gonna fucking like it, but I gotta try it. So I get it. Well, this little ring of diabetes delighted me so much that I've been like fucking obsessed with it. First of all it is just a cake donut with funfetti in it, and then they cover it in like 2 inches of fucking glaze. I mean, like, you eat this thing, you go into fucking diabetic shock like that, but it's so worth it. And if you know a diabetic that you don't like, just give them this, and then you don't have to worry about them no more. But so I've been obsessed with it. So I go to my regular Dunkin' Donuts, and every time I go, I look, I don't see it. Okay, good. So, less push-ups I gotta do. Now, on the flip side of that, there's a new kid that started working at Dunkin' Donuts. And I told you, I have, most of the staff pretty much knows me. You know what I mean? They know me. You know what I mean? They know to get my coffee right. Otherwise, good things are not going to happen. Some of them have been there when I've, like, thrown coffee cups at people, threatened to, like, pull their fucking windpipe out of their neck, shit like that. So for the most part, they're all fucking trained. They just ask me one question, large or extra large. Okay? They know. So they got this new kid, who's a fucking Momo, if I've ever seen one. I mean, he's got a mask on, but you can see he's stupid. Like, you can see that's just his expression the whole time. I don't know if he has no concept of the English language, if he's got fucking shit in his ears, or if he's just a straight up short bus jockey. I don't know. But this kid is fucking dumber than a pile of fucking dog shit. So again, my coffee order is relatively simple. Hot cream. Hot with cream, no sugar. That's it. It doesn't require any thinking at all. Listen, execute. That's it, right? So, every time I go in there, and I get this fucking kid, I tell him my order, and he always fucks it. It's like he's alert. It's like maybe he's a lactose problem. I said, put cream in it, right? He puts like a fucking drop. I always got to go back and tell him, could you give me more cream? He goes, huh? And then he plays dumb, which makes me even more fucking enraged. I want to kill him, but I figured, let me try something new. Let me try to be a little kinder and gentler. But I didn't fucking last too long. So I gave him, last time I was in there, I ordered coffee, and we fucked it up. And I go back, I walk back up. I'm like, dude, I told you cream. That's the could you give me some? Hey, put some cream in here. Are you want milk? No, you fucking retard. Cream. And the other Indian guy, who's also questionable sexual orientation, he starts yelling at him in Indian. I mean, I don't speak Indian myself, but I kind of got the gist of what he was saying. We were basically warning this kid, dude, you fuck this guy's coffee up one more time, it's your ass. I don't know why he's being nice, but they probably wondered, why is he being nice to him? Because normally one and done with me. But then, they don't fuck it up the second time. So I figured maybe I'll try being nice to the kid. He's a kid. He looks a little fucking retarded. I'll be nice. He's young. I'll try it for a change. That way I can always say I was right when it doesn't work. That's why I do these things, to be honest with you. Because people always, how do you know you're right all the time? Simple. I'll do it your way. I'll show you that it's fucking wrong, and then my way works. I didn't get to be a doctor by just being cute. So, long story short, that was the last time I was in there. So I go in there the other day. Actually, it was yesterday or the day before. It was the day before yesterday. I was having one, and I told this kid, and I've warned him before. I'm like, listen, dude, you got to pay attention. When I tell you what I want, just fucking do it. I said, you're going to catch me on the wrong day, and you're going to have a fucking problem. And this was right after the Indian guy had yelled at him. Okay. All right. So the other day, I was like, I was having one of those days. It's been one of those weeks. So I go in to get my coffee. And lo and behold, they had the fucking Dunkafetti donut. Suddenly, the stage just got better, right? I'm like, oh, great. I said, this just made my day. Little stupid shit like that just make me happy. So I ordered my coffee. 5 times I got to tell them no fucking sugar. And I says, and give me one of those Funfetti donuts. I pointed at it. All he had to do was fucking turn around. It's like, I even said Dunkafetti, which makes my face hurt to say because that's what was on the thing in case he decided he wanted to, broaden his literary skills. It was like talking to it was like talking to Baby Yoda. And I hate to make this goddamn comparison because Baby Yoda just does delight me. But I said, no, the Dunkafetti donut. He touched every fucking donut. Except, I said, what are you, fucking retarded? That one, do I have to come back there and get it myself? And again, the Indian guy goes, this Indian guy's probably saying that you're just itching for this guy to fucking kill you. So after my blood starts boiling because now I had to get agitated because he couldn't see the fucking donut right in front of him. Finally, I get the donut I want. Hands me my coffee. I stopped to put it in, a cup like this, right? I opened the lid on the container. It's black. Now, I know I said cream. I recognize the sound of my voice. Actually, I say half and half. Half and half. I pulled the mask down and say it. Half and half. Once I saw that, well, that's it. I just went fucking ballistic. Now, somebody was already ordering. I turned around, and from the other side, I'm like, are you a fucking retard? And everybody, I mean, I cleared that Dunkin' Donuts faster than a fucking Chinaman with a sneezing fit. I mean, just, everybody just, I mean, I walked right, if that plexiglass wasn't there to save his life, I think I would have went through it and killed him. Because the hole was at the bottom. I'd have to reach up underneath it. And I yelled, I'm fogging up the fucking thing. I'm still wearing a mask, mind you. I mean, what the fuck is wrong with you? What don't you understand? Do you know what cream is? That's the cream. Put the cream in the coffee. So, and the whole time, the other Indian guy going, you see, I told you he was going to go crazy. What's wrong with you? Why don't you listen to me? I tell you all the time, he come in here. Do not mess with this man. He's not well. He's crazy. The fucking guy is calling me crazy. He goes, Mr. Tommy, I'm so sorry. He's very new. He does not listen. But please, it's all right. It's okay. Just make the fucking coffee the right way so I don't have to get fucking demented. Ruined my whole day. So, that's what happens when I try to be nice. It don't really work. So the lesson here, kids, is when somebody fucks up your coffee, just yell at them the first time so they don't fuck it up again. That's been your Friday wrap-up. I'll see you when I see you.